What made you want to set off on this biking journey?
It came quite spontaneous. I never thought I would do something like that. Binthi asked me if I want to ride a bicycle to Tierra del Fuego, and it took maybe 2 seconds, not even 2 seconds. I said, yeah, let's do it. Every day is a surprise, actually. There are so many things that happen unexpected. I find very unexpected the hospitality of the people, riding through Central America, Guatemala, Nicaragua, El Salvador, seeing the people that have so little, and it seems for me that the less people own, the more generous they are, and their hospitality just blew me away. They wanted to share everything with us. They offered us places to stay, and were very, very friendly people, and they all smile. They all seem to be happy.
Has it been physically demanding for you, or would you say that's one of the easier parts of bike touring?
Well, physically I had lots of surprises. I've never been an athlete, and I rode my bike, but not long distances, and we were not really prepared for this trip. Yeah, my body, I had really sore muscles. We started in Central California, and we were riding up and down the hills. We had to stop for a few days. I could not walk anymore. Oh, I think I'd never so much body pain in my whole life, to be honest. We really like the remote areas, the back roads. I remember some back roads in Mexico where we took the boat over, and everybody was on horses there, and it seemed like the time stood still. And also here in Costa Rica we cycled the Nicoya Peninsula. The roads were really tough. They were very steep, all dirt roads, rocky, sandy, uneven. It was hot, and to get to places was really hard, but we made it, and the reward was just amazing. Seeing all these remote, beautiful, untouched places. No scary moments. Once it happened that a police car, with these armed guys in the back, the pickup truck, they drove behind us, and they said, yeah, we're going to escort you to make sure you're safe. There was in Guatemala on our way to El Salvador, and they drove behind us in our pace for an hour. After an hour I looked behind us, and whoa, they were still behind us, and safe. And that was the area where everybody was wearing guns, lots of security guys, and it's just, yeah, everybody.
So what's a typical day for you when you're biking? I mean, if there is anything typical. Can you just tell me how it starts out? How many hours you like to cycle? What your rhythm is during the day?
Okay, we wake up, and we stay 5 more minutes longer in bed. Or maybe 1 more minute. Oh, it's cloudy today, that gives us more time. We don't need to get up so early. So most of the time we get up by 7:30 sometimes. Sometimes 6:30, depends really. And then we look for a place having breakfast, or we cut up some fruit and have fruit before we leave. Or sometimes we leave without breakfast and go the first 20 kilometers and find a little comedor somewhere on the side of the road. And usually we have two rests or 2 stops before we make it to our destination, and on average we do about 50-60 kilometers a day. Depends if it is hilly or not, sometimes 70. Our most kilometers were 90. And when we find accommodation, either we camp or we find a little room. First thing is we're having a shower, washing all the grease off, all the sweat, and then we just lie down on our bed, and we're happy not to move our bodies. Sometimes we knock on people's doors. They offer us a place in their backyard. The reactions we had so far, they were very welcoming and very warm and happy to have us there. They were very, very happy to share. And then some of them, they got out the photo albums, and they showed us the photos, and they're very curious people.
So for you, what is the most challenging aspect of bike touring? What's the most difficult, the most challenging aspect for you?
Sometimes I get scared because we have no home. We sold everything we had, and we have no place to go back to. Sometimes when my mind kicks in, I wonder, oh my God, what are we going to do when our trip is finished, and where does our income come from? And sometimes when the mind kicks in. And I know from experience that the universe always looked after us. Everything has always fallen into place. And I know this is also what's going to happen. But sometimes I'm nervous. Traveling, cycling, taking photos and writing. So we have a website and I love writing our journals and putting the photos in for our friends and family. And I'm also thinking about writing a book about our trip. It's been amazing so far. So many stories to tell. And
great. So if somebody's thinking about going on a bike tour like this, because you were able to do it really spontaneously, I think that's probably the exception. What kind of advice would you give somebody who's thinking about going on a bike tour, but they're not quite sure?
Do it. Just jump into it and do it.
Follow the brake lights into the